Okay, so Sammy's awesome project, part 1. So part of my project is how to get the ultimate tattoo. So during my research, I compiled different factors into it. So one of the factors about getting the ultimate tattoo is picture or design. So for the best design, it's recommended that you think over a design for about a year. At the end of the year, if you still want the same design or pattern, it's not going to be something you regret. Don't do something at the spur of a moment like, oh, I'm going to get a butterfly tattooed on my arm that's like this big. You're going to regret it. It's always regretted. So, to make sure that you enjoy and are happy with whatever tattoo that you get, take a period of about a year, maybe less, to think it over. Um, some bad examples of people who do things at the spur of the moment are these people. So another point in getting it, really, nobody wants to be reminded of Two Girls, One Cup. And really, do you really want a shark eating a baby tattooed on your armpit? What's gonna happen when the hair grows in? Seriously? And yes, we know you are a reject of society. You really don't need to remind us by getting it tattooed on your forehead. So another good thing when you're getting a tattoo is to check into the place that you're getting it done at, make sure that they have all the required licenses, they're not reusing needles, they're all sterile, everything is good. So another thing, you don't have to, but it's good to go for a tattoo that has meaning to you and not just, oh, it's a pretty picture. Um, Subtler meanings generally make things more interesting, and when people look at them, they don't go, oh, it's a butterfly. Well, that person's kind of crazy. They just, picked that. It's best to have something that makes people think, that makes you think, that means more to you than somebody else, right? So, also, when getting your tattoo done, make sure you spell it right. Yeah. Another thought when getting a tattoo is about color. Color does take more time to do and can be more painful due to the longer time period, but it adds more effect. It adds more bang, right? Some colors aren't as stable as others. Like yellow is gonna fade the most. Black is always the best to have, because it doesn't fade as much. So you can get tattoos redone to cover the colors because they will over the years fade. And if you still really like it, it's best to keep the colors up. Good maintenance is part of every kind of hobby. Another point on color, UV rays and sun basically can speed up the fading process. So tanning equals no with tattoos as it spreads out the pigments and the image can become distorted. So when going out in the sun and it's a hot day, put on sunscreen over your tattoo to protect it. Regarding size, some tattoos may look great on one person but not the other. So when getting ink, it's best to look at models with similar size proportions to you to get an idea. So with various designs to decide what size looks right, you have to look at, what this butterfly looks like in this and instead of like what it looks like this because as the proportions change, so may the graphics. Um, Another point to consider is how you want the ink to follow kind of like the lines and contours of your body. So it's also good to consider your future body shape. So if you're gonna go on this like wicked diet where you're gonna lose all this weight, don't get a tattoo before that. Get it after, as in your body proportions will change. So losing all that weight will stretch out the image and it won't look as great. Another thing regarding size, it's not just has to do with body fat, it has to do with muscle. So with more fat or muscle equals more stretching and fading of the image, so the image won't be at a greater quality. So the main factors in getting a tattoo are size, color, and design and pattern. So if you keep in all those factors and the shop that you get them done at, you should come up with the ultimate tattoo. But remember, tattoos are not for everybody. They can be quite painful, so look in and do as much research as possible when getting them done. Um, Also, another odd little fact in there is that when you have a baby and are pregnant, your stomach stretches. So, women, if you're thinking about having a baby or in the near future, don't get a tattoo on your stomach because it stretches and it doesn't look that great and it's not good for you. So that concludes my project on how to get the ultimate tattoo. Some of the sources that I used were ugliestbadtattoos.net, gettingatattoo.org, 13roses.com, which is an actual tattoo parlor that have their own website, ezinearticles.com, and smosh.com. So here are some really cool pictures of different tattoos that I thought you might want to look at.